very specific advice for you for setting your student learning target. First and foremost, scale scores don't work. That's a big problem. So let's take LEAP and iLEAP. They go from 100 to 500. I don't know why they don't start at 0. But what if you have a parish-wide benchmark test that isn't 100 to 500? How can you compare those? How can you set a goal if you have one piece of data to try to predict some other piece of data? It's not going to work very well. Take every single thing you can and turn it into percents. So if it's 40% at grade level, or they're in the 40th percentile, meaning they're performing better than 40% of other students at that level, switch everything into percents. Next thing, when you deal with percents, they're more accurate, but they take a lot more work to move. So when you're dealing with a bell curve, it's very easy to move in the middle, but the amount of effort it takes to move 1% at the top is a lot more difficult. Be aware of that and adjust accordingly. If you're teaching the high-level students on tracking, you're not going to be able to grow them as much as, say, if you were teaching students that were 50 percentile. Likewise, on the other end of the curve, for low-achieving students, if a child is low-achieving, there might be something like a specific learning disability they're dealing with. You need to keep that in mind. You are a teacher, you know your students best, and you have to keep them in mind at all times. And reflect that in your student learning goals. Every class is different. You can't even use the same one every year. Any questions about how to set a decent goal?